Beep, 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 beep. Hello, hello. How are you? Right, okay. I'm such a ridiculous human being. I've just had the most stupid 5 minutes where I lost the plot completely. I'm just confused and bamboozled myself in my sheer stupidity. So I'm quite pleased to have got back to normal now so that I can talk to you about something important, which is coming from the lovely Emerald Isle. Right, okay, Ireland, we're back there again. Here, transphobe no father. We're back in Ireland, wonderful Ireland, okay? So I'm pleased to bring you this information from Ireland. It's very interesting indeed, and I hope you will find it so when we go through the article. But I'm a very stupid man, okay? So I'm sat here this morning getting myself ready, like I normally do, where I'm going to, going to record something for the peeps, my supporters. Thank you so much for being so. Follow, subscribe, buy me a coffee, the usual stuff, right? So I was sat here and I was getting myself ready. Like, all right, here we go. You ready to go? No, it's a little bit low, isn't it? A little bit. Sorry, it's a little bit high, isn't it? So I pushed I've got a walking table, that can go up and down, so I can walk or stand or whatever I want to do. So I thought it was a bit high in it, so I pressed the button to lower the table, and the phone wasn't lowering, and I pressed it to go back up again, and the phone wasn't lowering, and then I remembered that the phone's attached to the wall, not the table. I am so inherently stupid at times, right? Just can't help myself. Right? So it reminds me of a bloke I was shopping with years ago and he was buying Brobat Blue. Do you remember that? It's like these two little things you put in cisterns to sort of, I don't know, do away with turd smells or something, right? These two little things. You buy 2-pack and then you put one in and it turns the water blue. And it was advertised by Kenneth Williams. You go, oh, Brobat Blue and all that, right? And he bought 4 and I bought 2. And I said, what are you buying 4 for? He said, I put 2 in at once because they last twice as long. I didn't have the heart to tell him. Daft bloke. Right, okay. So, very interesting, this. Very interesting from Ireland. Lesbian activist raises concerns about belong to youth group. Now, I've spoken to you about belong to before, and we've got similar, very nefarious looking things going on with various groups in the UK, let alone in Ireland. So we've actually got a group in Ireland in which there's been some goings on that are a bit worrying. Now, again, I've got an Irish name here. I'm not good at this. I've told you before. Annaig. And I, Birdie. I'm just going to call you Birdie, okay? Birdie says adults gave weird advice to young teens, including how to hide chest binders from parents. Right? So this is just insane. I mean, this is what they're saying to kids. Now, Birdie knows this. Birdie's a lesbian. Because she attended youth meetings in 2016, and there was pressure put on attendees to come out as non-binary or transgender. So that's a youth group for conversion therapy, right there. Mm-hmm. A lesbian woman who attended youth meetings of the Belong To group in 2016 when she was 17 has said pressure was put on attendees to come out as non-binary or transgender, and advice was given on how to hide chest binders from parents. Let's go back to 2016. What do you think they're doing now? Birdie, 25, has set up a new group called Not All Gays, which she says will campaign for gay and lesbian rights but not transgender causes. Well done, Birdie. Good for you. And Birdie's 25. Well done, Birdie. That's what we want. She spoke at last month's Let Women Speak rally in Dublin's Merrion Square that was headlined by Posy Parker, a UK activist on gender identity issues who was also... I wish they'd get it right. Posy Parker is concerned, or Kelly J is concerned with women's rights. It's not some kind of protest, some kind of activism. It is the concern for women's rights. Okay, that's it. I think. Right? If I'm wrong, Kelly J, put me right. Because I don't want to misrepresent you. Because you never lose. Fab, just fab. Right, the event attracted protests from a number of groups who alleged it was a transphobic gathering. A transphobic gathering? Oh, I love it. Oh, dear. How does one have a transphobes? Here, please. Yeah. Are you a... No, not. No, well, this is a transphobic gathering. It's a bit Python, isn't it? I've come into this room to have an argument. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. No, you haven't. Yes, I have. No, you haven't. I thought this was the room for an argument. No, this is a room for contradiction. It's a bit mad, isn't it? Right? Birdie, who lives in Dublin and works in the legal sector, spoke at the event about her time attending Belong To meetings. At the rally, she said she was called transphobic for saying that lesbians don't do dick. Why is that transphobic? Speaking last week, we all know, entitled men. That's why it's transphobic. Speaking last week, she said she was part of a group that last year met Ombudsman for Children, Niall Muldoon, to raise concerns about social pressure, she says, are upon teenagers and young adults to declare themselves trans or non-binary. That's how they proliferate the social contagion. She also wrote to Michael Martin last year when he was Tausig, I'm not sure I've got that right, to raise her concerns about belong to meetings. Belong to is an LGBTQ plus youth support charity that received over €800,000 in state support in 2021. Holy cow. Ireland are just dishing these people out money. Birdie said that when she was 17, she began attending meetings hosted by Belong To, with the majority of them held in the office of the Ombudsman for Children in Dublin. She attended the meeting for those aged between 14 and 23 with her then partner, who was a girl identifying as a trans boy at the time. These women. Birdie said she immediately felt ostracised when she accidentally misgendered another attendee by getting their pronouns wrong. Every time I went there, it was very cliquey, and there'd be very negative talk about cisgender people and heterosexual people. She said people would say, oh, I don't want to see that cis shit on my TV. In hindsight, it was very unhealthy, and the youth workers did overhear this and often and didn't intervene or say, no, we don't talk like that here. They just allowed it to continue. Birdie said that between 30 and 50 people attended the meetings, and there were 2 to 3 youth workers to moderate discussions. At her first meeting, she said there was a discussion about how girls who wished to transition to be transgender males could hide chest binders from their parents. Chest binding is the process of flattening a female's chest. Long-term use of a poorly fitted binder can lead to medical issues, including chest and back pain. Adults, says Birdie, were telling 14-year-olds how to wash binders so their parents wouldn't see them in the laundry. Said Birdie, these are adults telling vulnerable children who are figuring out their sexuality and their identity what to do. There's more from Birdie, but you go read it. Right? She's taking the time to speak to the journalist. I think it's only fair that you read it. So it's archive.p, I've got it, and I put the link in the doobries. Here's the problem, right? Archive.p is almost automatically then deleted by YouTube, who says that it's a nefarious site, right? So I can't get it onto another archive, but what I'll do is I'll have it it'll be on my timeline somewhere. I'm going to put it up in the next hour. So I think you'll see this about 24 hours after. So I'll just put, Irish Belong To group, and then you can search for that to find the link, because I have to put it on Twitter because they won't let me have it on YouTube. On the other hand, if it's still in the link, they did, okay? No internet, all this. But, good folks at YouTube are good, okay? So don't worry, hopefully we'll get you the ability to be able to see it one way or the other. Irish Belong To, that's all I'm going to put in the tweet, all right? And then it'll have the link, so you can search for that if you need to. God, this is a failing of safeguarding on a grand scale. Doesn't matter what the child is. Doesn't matter if the child's gay, if the child's lesbian, it does not matter. They are children, okay? This is a massive safeguarding fail on every level. Every level. And I don't know why we can't see it. I know I can't see it. Awful cases and whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These adults are putting on to children their own projection of what they think they are before these children are even developed properly. It's just sick. And it seems to me that Belong To is just one of many groups that I believe need to be answering some questions and to work out and find out whether or not they're actually a danger. I think they are, but then I'm not in charge. You don't want me in charge either. Get brutal, that would. Right, open the well. Did she float? No, right. You don't want me in charge. Really? Can you imagine? Trans Finder General. Anyway, this is a serious subject, but go and have a look, right, and see what's actually happening in Ireland. It's funny because I think of Ireland as such a wonderful place. Every time I've been there, it's been marvellous, except once when I had a terrible time with the university. But every time I've been there, it's a marvellous place. And for some reason, I've got it in my head that the Irish like to drink. I don't know where that comes from. I think it's probably stereotypical. But I'm reminded I'm saying this of a film from Ireland I saw many years ago, which was terribly good fun. I'm now going to hunt it down so I can watch it. And it was called Grabbers, I think. Grabbers. I think that was the word. Grabbers. Right? And it was about this group of Irish people. I think they were Irish. I could have all this wrong. Grabbers were trapped in a pub. Right? during an invasion by these strange alien creatures that were quite scary, if I remember rightly. I'll find out later. I'm going to try and find it, right? But what was funny about it was that in order to stay live, they had to be, because these aliens would ignore you if you were pissed. What a lovely conceit. What do you want to write about? I don't know. Well, what do you want in your film? Monsters. Right, okay, we can do monsters, but what the setting? How about a pub in Ireland? Oh, that sounds like a good idea. What's going to make it unique? How about you have to be pissed in order to stay alive? They must have been laughing when they came up with that. So my recommendation to you today is to watch Grabbers, but first of all is to read the article by a very brave young lady in Ireland, and I wish her and her group all the luck possible in the world, because we need more of you. Right? We need the young people to get engaged, because, some of us are just about to pop off. And I shall leave you with that cheerful, if somewhat upsetting thought. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.